Greetings, class. This is Professor Welch again. We're talking about the material for Quiz 6 on the subject Drugs and Society, and this will be part 2. Our first tape covered a lot of the quiz for week 3 and started some of the Quiz 6 information. But Quiz 6 will cover week 4, which is marijuana, depressants, and inhalants. Week 5 is anabolic steroids, alcohol, and chronic alcohol use. And we look at also in week 6 the information about nicotine and tobacco. And then we look at drugs and crime. In looking at alcoholic beverages, suppose that you were going to go on a cruise, say a sea voyage. Would you want to take water or would you want to take alcohol? Well, water can be very spoiled easily, and so alcohol would be the correct type of beverage to take. Now we need to talk about codependency and someone being an enabler. If a father goes to his son's apartment with money to pay his rent because the son has spent all of his money and his paycheck on drugs or alcohol, then the father is being an enabler. He is enabling the son to keep drinking and smoking and on drugs and not paying the rent, and the father is an enabler. Now, smoking. When I was a young person, they would have all the movies with smoking. It would look so glamorous. Movie stars would be smoking, and then we found out the Marlboro Man died. We found out John Wayne died of heavy smoking, and we found out that the tobacco industry had painted nicotine in a whole different way than it actually was. Did you know smoking one cigarette can actually shorten your life? And that could be by minutes. You can research various articles and see how much of your lifespan can be shortened. Now there's various longitudinal, longitudinal studies, and these have shown that initial involvement in crime activities actually began with drug experimentation. So people who experiment with drugs, actually it leads them to a life of crime. I think often it is to get the money to buy the drugs. They're sort of forced to go into crime. So that is very important. You wonder who is most likely to have been under the influence of drugs at the time of their criminal offense. And they say drug offenders, burglars, and robbers are most likely to have that occur. Some of my students ask questions about the peyote issue. Peyote was used years ago by Indian tribes who felt that they had to smoke peyote in honor to honor the great spirit in the sky. And that came before the United States Supreme Court. And they looked at what's the benefit of society. Well, we don't want people on drugs. But what's the burden on their religion? Well, they get to heaven and the great spirit of the sky will say, you didn't smoke the peyote for me. And so the Indians won that. And they could continue smoking peyote as part of their religious observances. However, at a later time, the Indian tribe people that were involved in this Supreme Court case, they began inviting other people to come in and smoke the peyote with them. Well, the court said, you've now gone too far. This is different than just your tribal observances. That You can't do that. You could do it on your own observance, but you can't be inviting all these other people in. So this will be the end of part 2 of the recording on drugs and society.